call our meeting to order and get started. Is Rick Davis expected?
He's supposed to be.
Valerie is the only one that's, Valerie is the only one that's.
Valerie. Okay. All right, very good. So, do we need to make any changes to the agenda, Daniel?
None that I'm aware of.
All right, very good. We got the minutes emailed to us from the meeting of November the 3rd. Does anybody have any questions or comments? If not, a motion to approve the minutes from November the 3rd.
So moved.
All right, second.
Second.
And all right, in favor of? All right, thank you. Okay.
Pardon?
All right. Let's have a motion to approve the agenda as well.
So
You can tell it's my last day. All right, second, somebody do it, and we're all in favor of. Thank you. Okay, moving right along, Ms. Garland, good to see you. Thank you for coming. I don't have a pen today. I need to stay in. I got 1 minute. Pardon? Okay.
So I got the financial report, hot off the press. Just got the bank statement this morning. Thank God for online banking. Our cash, reconciled cash balance in the operating fund at the end of yesterday was $730,728. We've got $11,573 to deposit that came in late yesterday after we had already closed out, the bank closed out their books. We do have $8,052.04 in salaries that I've already transferred from the Graham County General Fund into, from the operating fund into Graham County General Fund. And then I transferred $3,705 basically into the capital reserve. We had 2 bills and they've already been paid this morning for $644.95. So your available cash is $729,919.15. If you look at this time last year, if you look at the era up, you'll see that the available cash was $618,000. So we've got about $112,000 positive variance in the bank. Okay, so that's good news. If you'll scoot down to the bottom of the page in blue, you will see that so far this year we have collected $197,154.83. And occupancy this time last year was $196,560. And I was glad to see that because we fell a little bit behind last year, but we're right even with last year. So what had me worried was with gas prices being so high, that it was going to suppress. We obviously aren't showing any growth, but we've grown like by leaps and bounds in the last couple of years. And then you have available in your capital reserve $138,466. So that's available for capital expenditures. I know that there's signage that's in the works and different things like that. That can be pulled from that if the board so chooses. If you look in green on the bottom, you'll see that we've got 80,000 of the 197,000, $80,710 is coming from Airbnb Home Away, and that's consistently staying 41% of the total. So that's not, not going up or down. It's basically the same people probably every night doing their bookings. Just to give you our operating statement, now this is cash basis, so it doesn't include this $11,000 we got from deposit. So if you want to add $11,000 to the $37,989 that we deposited in November, then you can see what the total occupancy was. But if you look on the second page there, you'll see that your operating is highlighted in yellow. Last month we operated with cash basis $29,000 in surplus, and for the year $79,425 in surplus. So that's all good news. We've got $20 million finance. Okay. And then your budget statement, you're very well within budget. You turn over to the second page, you see that you have $358,843 left in your budget to expend. You expended a little under 24%. And at this point in the game, if you were staying right in budget, you would have expended 42%. So there's, as I've said several times, there's room in your budget to do some things as you're planning for the new season coming on. And then we're right in the middle of winter, get ready to winter time. So you do have some flexibility there, okay?
Right, and we do have a number of things that will need to be paid through December.
Okay, and I know, Tammy was telling me that you had several things that we would be in requisition.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all we have for finance. I'm always excited to come to this board and see all of the things that are going on. I was thinking about, I think my first finance report I gave 13 years ago was like, yeah, like $75,000. And we thought that was great. We knew we were poor, but you know, at least we had some money. And so it's been so nice to watch this board grow. The tourism in this county. That's all I got. If there's any questions?
Ms. Gora, thank you. We appreciate the hard work that you do for this board, and I think we can find a bunch of projects to spend some of this money on.
That's correct.
That's great.
I appreciate all that y'all do.
Financially sound and heading in the right direction.
Well, the work you guys do impacts the general fund because it grows the sales tax and people are coming in. And so, you know, the more you guys grow, the more my sales tax grows. The more money I'm going to have for a courthouse.
I think the last financial report from the commissioners meeting, help me if I'm wrong, but over the last 10 years, our sales tax revenue has increased somewhere between 110 and 15%. And that's just a reflection, I think, to what this board's been able to do over the last 10 years. So we're getting them here.
If y'all have a Merry Christmas unless you need me for anything.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'll be talking to you then.
Very good. I don't have a whole lot of remarks. I'm working with Daniel Stewart to try to bring the horse camp thing up there at the Stewart Cabin. Trying to get a meeting with the Chinoa District Ranger now to talk about that. And Cable Cove, and it looks like it's going to be the 1st of January before I actually get a meeting to sit down with him. So I'll keep you all posted on what's going on with that. So that's what I have for today. Robin, you got anything on the sign?
Yeah, we're working on the sign. Y'all see the columns are up, and we're just waiting for them to come and hang it. We've approved the artwork for the top of it that puts our logo and that. So hopefully it'll be this month.
Good. Be a nice addition.
Yes.
All right, thank you. Daniel,
Yes, sir.
your turn.
You have a copy of the director's report in front of you, the outline. I'm going to let Jeanette go through the visitor center office and staff portion, talking about the visitors, et cetera, in the welcome center.
We've had 55 walk-ins plus their family and friends that was with them. Last year we only had 37. And we've had all kinds, shapes, and sizes of visitors. And it's just, they're all something different. We've had 2 phone inquiries. We gave 2 maintenance out in November and 3 brochures to go across the skyway to get the maintenance.
All right.
It's starting to
first thing I'd like to do is, before I go into some of the programming, that kind of thing, is talk to you about some of the handouts. I got a call on Monday from Lanisha Charles, who's an associate producer with American Pickers. I hope a lot of you are familiar with that. It's a show on the History Channel. It's shown streaming up there. They periodically will, not every couple of years, will contact us and say, we were thinking about making a swing through North Carolina. If you have anybody that you know of that has a private collection that you think they'd like to have picked, please get in touch with us. So this is in your board packet. One of these, if you do have anyone you know of, please, if you don't want to let them know, I'd be happy to help you and let them know for you. The second thing is, I wanted to point out before I went through number one programs and projects, etc., the fact that obviously this time of year we have a lot of opportunities, especially around holidays and that kind of thing, to really do a little more than normal print and digital advertising. It's targeted, but it's kind of stacked this time of year. So I wanted you to know that both our print and digital advertising with our normal folks like Our State and Smoky Mountain Living are there. But in addition to that, you have two things. First thing is this Smoky's Life, and we talked about our relationship with them and how this publication is very similar, although it's only published twice a year, to Our State magazine. Owned, actually, they marked the page that our ad is on. It's on page 15, and it's a little bit. It's one of the things that we've used before. Discover the Secret Side of the Smokies, but it's a little different ad, and I think it's actually pretty nice. So I just want to point that out. First item there that I'm going to comment on is the Year of the Trail, 2023. Got contacted by Joe Miller, who's the Ecotourism Advisor associated with Office of Management of the State Budget. He's also a Hometown Strong rep, and he advised me that the legislature had declared 2023 the Year of the Trail in the state of North Carolina. Along with that, they have designated some funds to be utilized through Hometown Strong, and there's some other programs as well. But for small rural areas that they're going through the Hometown Strong program, they chose 11 small rural communities to target, and we were one of them. And what we have the opportunity to do, and obviously I accepted for us, was that we have the opportunity to be perhaps designated as an official trail town. They have not worked that piece out yet, Randy, but it's a very possibility. But if nothing else, we'll be known as a trail town, because there are only 11 in North Carolina, and all they were asking that you do is that you do your best to try to showcase what you have as far as outdoor activities and outdoor assets. And of course, that's right, the easiest thing we could do. That's right down our alley. So, but in addition to that, they would like to have a single weekend devoted to a celebration of that. And the weekend that they chose for us was either, we're still negotiating and trying to make it fit some things, is in the middle of October, during leaf season, which I think would be an ideal time. It wasn't, well, actually the first choice I had was one of the shoulder season, but given that it's not, that's probably an ideal time because people are already here. Gives us an opportunity to just have additive things and activities that can go on. But they'll work with us, and we'll work with them, and we'll actually convene a group of all the stakeholders and partners that should be involved and have, almost a year plan. So hopefully we can have a great celebration. And the thing is, our celebration would be the culminating celebration of the year of the trail for the state. So we're going to get to close it out for the state. Next item is the fulfillment program. It's going well. I was talking to Robin a minute ago, and he asked about it, and we have had a lot of comments, a lot of suggestions, a lot of questions. So Kim and I will sit down next week and try to catch our breath. And we've kind of made the first runs at getting it out there. And Meredith, if any of y'all and Billy, for that matter, Robin, have ideas or anything you want us to do that you thought of after you've seen Kim, please let me know. We'll include those in our plan. Graham County Sesquicentennial, one of the things it's done is the Graham Star created a special publication. They worked very hard. It's a nice thing. I've given each of you a copy of it. It's a very informative publication, and they work closely with the Graham County Historical Association to put it out. And I think about utilized the whole writing staff, didn't you, Randy? Looked like
all three of us.
But it's a good-looking thing, and you did help through some of your funds sponsor this and make it possible. So thank you for that. Our State Magazine was the next one I was going to speak to. We're actually down to the fine details there. As soon as we can get those ironed out early next week, I'll be trying to get back a hold of folks and let you know where we are there. DDA grant for planning and review meetings are again in all likelihood late next week. The next one was the Benton McKay Trail Association annual meeting, which was held November 3rd through the 6th at Fontana Village Resort. They had good coverage on that from the Graham Star, and it looked like people had a pretty good time there. You provided the attendees swag. One of the things you provided was an aluminum coffee cup, but the handle was a carabiner, so you can actually, if you're a camper, you can back it in. If you're hiking or anything you might be doing, even if you're a hunter, you can put it where it won't bang around. You can use that, out in the woods. So we felt like that's a pretty good thing. I think it was well received. We also provided them with a door prize that they always go through to do a bunch of door prizes, or several door prizes. Junaluska Memorial Anniversary. There we had excellent the Graham Star on there. My understanding was I wasn't there, unfortunately, but the day was, the weather dampened the day a little bit, but certainly not in the spirits. And the wreath laying went on outside as planned. We did partner with both the Friends of Junaluska and the RTA and the Graham Festivals to provide a lot of things for that meeting. But one of the things that we did exclusively is we did advertising. Or not exclusively, but we did a bulk of the advertising. The first annual community Christmas tree lighting. That's what Dale was saying we might start with. There again, we've begun in partnership with the RTA and with festivals to actually fulfill one lady's vision. And that lady's your secretary, Jeanette, came up with the idea that we needed to have a Christmas tree lighting. And So it was kicked around and talked around, and actually David Beasley and some folks got what you did and began pulling it together, and it looks like it's going to be a very fun event. That's going to be on Friday, and your chairman talked about the need for volunteers. Saturday. Please help if you possibly can. The next thing is
Christmas thing Saturday. Right.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we've got a good calendar to put together in that packet that's things got to do for the rest of the week. The Create Bridges, the organizing training meetings are being done now. For that, there'll be a large meeting like that there'll be last month, somewhere in February. It looks like it's going to be the 27th or 8th. The other thing that I wanted to just make note of was that we talked about partnering with festivals in the RTA. On the 10th of November, we had a meeting of the representatives of Debbie Beasley and Brian Johnson and myself met. So those three groups, and we literally did something we probably should have done a long time ago. We began talking about not just how we can better work together, but we also talked about the number of events and whether, what type, I guess a classification, whether it should be a major event or whether it should be one that's a fun type event or maybe a little lesser. How to, some of the logistics about how to people those events up and how to do the promotion of them and that kind of thing. But in addition to that, we also looked at a consolidated calendar, which is something we've long needed, and began the initial work on it. Certainly before the first of the year or by the first of the year, we should have you something that will give you an idea of not all the events, but the majority of events that we're aware of. And one of the things I need from anyone here that might be having an event is making sure that we can plug those into the calendar, like Fontana and Topeka, and also Snowbird, or anyone else that may be over in addition to those discussions, I've also had discussions ongoing with some of the larger groups that come into the county, like the Hill Climb Group and the minis, about ways that we can, and we talked about it a little bit last month, but just ways that we can make their experience more enjoyable and enhance it for them so that they'll want to return not just every year at that event, but also maybe share it with folks, with their family and friends, and look at us as a place to vacation a second time each year. The farmers market concluded their schedule, if I'm not mistaken, last week. So the next thing we're up to there is trying to look with them and set up what they need and get it on track early, as opposed to last year we were lagging behind a little bit. Also, we've done some assessment of points map just initially. We need to do a little bit more, but and I'll be bringing some ideas about that back to the board. So that's really all that I have, Mr. Chairman.
We have been very busy. Continue to be busy. All right. Thank you, Daniel. I know the last little while has been difficult for you, and I'm sure that each of us, very sad that you had to deal with what you had to deal with. And we just we wish you the best. November the 19th, I met with the Robbinsville Tourism Authority folks, and we had a guy here from, came up from McDonough, Georgia. That's the promoter for the Georgia Cigar Box Guitar Festival. And the town of Robbinsville, their tourism agency, has decided that they want to try to do a cigar box festival here sometime in June next year. And they will, in order for them to do it, they will need this board to support them, especially on the marketing side of it. Miss Beasley, I had never thought of it, but if they have it after school is out, then the gymnasium out the street here becomes available, and the one at the high school for workshops and performances, and it will be a 2-day festival. The guy from Georgia is a man named Rusty Taylor that does the Georgia Festival, and you can find him on YouTube. You can look at that festival if you want to. It's called the Georgia International Cigar Box Festival. He draws anywhere from 4,000 to 6,000 people over a 2-day period there, and we don't know what to expect here, but you know, if the first year we can draw 300 to 500 people in and put them in rooms and cabins and so forth, I think we can build on it. It's an amazingly popular thing amongst people that do those things, and they follow these festivals. They had the first one, they had one in October over in Blue Ridge, Georgia, the first one they've had over there, and they had over 2,000 people at their event. So I'm looking forward to having one here and building on it. So hopefully going forward, this board will help them out. They're willing to do the work, and you know, I've always said that something's good for Robbinsville, it's good for the county. You know, it draws people in. There aren't enough hotel rooms in the city limits to accommodate everybody. So hopefully, you know, we'll all feel the impact of it. The last thing I have is in the last commissioner meeting, we approved expanding this board to 9 members. If you read the Graham story, you may know that we were preoccupied by a couple of other things, so we didn't get around to appointing people to those 2 seats. So hopefully I'm going to be appointed to one of them Monday. Hope nothing's changed there. And I wanted to ask y'all to consider appointing Debbie Beasley for that 9th person. She's a hard worker. I think it would be good for us to have a representative of the town on the board. And so if y'all are in agreement to that, that's what I will ask Daniel to go to the board of commissioners and request. Their next meeting will be on December the 20th. I don't know if they can get to it on Monday or not. They may not want to get to it on Monday.
Okay.
But, you know, if anybody's got any thoughts or opinions on that, please go ahead and share it. And, but I just think it'd give us a good working relationship with the town. And most of the festivals are done within the town limits. And, you know, we need to keep drawing people here and doing what we can. And financially, this board's in a shape to where it can. And hopefully in February, we'll get our additional 3-cent occupancy tax. I'm hoping and hoping and hoping that that's going to happen. So, all right, that's it for me. I'm going Turner, you have a special presentation.
I'm honored to be able to do a special presentation, and we want to recognize you, Commissioner and Chairman, of our appreciation for what you've done for this board for all these years, and sincere gratitude for your dedication to the betterment of Grant County, demonstrated by our astute vision and wise leadership as Chairman of the Grant County Travel and Tourism Association Authority. Honored to be able to present this. You've done an outstanding job.
Wow.
And we wouldn't be in the position we're in today if it hadn't been for you.
Well, that's beautiful. You surprised me. I was not expecting that.
So we did.
Isn't that beautiful? That is.
So that's,
Well, thank you very much.
you're not leaving.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate that.
We can take it back easily.
Yeah. Well, but that was
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right.
Y'all snuck that one in. Thank you very much.
Is that a painting or a photo?
I think it's a photo, but it's
Pretty, yes.
I don't know, Bill. It's beautiful, whatever it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, well, you're
That's a
quite
nice Christmas present.
I got one item over. Somebody asked me next week on some of these falls and stuff like that. Who do we have to see about enlarging the signs? Like at Yellow Creek Falls, should the signs need to be bigger like we got it?
Forest Service for that matter.
That's what I told them. Yeah. Anyway, we got a top of them or anything like that.
Well, Daniel can talk to Heath Emmons, that falls under his responsibility.
We probably had to build a side or buy the side.
Yeah, they don't,
Yeah, blade saw.
they don't have money to do anything. You know, I was talking to Heath, about the cable code, and he applied for money to do the things necessary to reopen the campground, and the regional office has basically instructed them to close all the campsites going down on the right-hand side that are over there by the little Powell Branch, and they funded that part of the project to, you know, to close out the campsites, but they didn't give them any money towards trying to reopen. So we're going to have to, I think, you know, we need to just apply to Parks and Recreation to try to get some funds. Parks and Recreation money, if you apply for it, it's $1 for $1 match. But I think we should go ahead and try to do that and get that money and try to get that campground back open. And we've got some money. So that's something to consider going forward. I can find out when the application cycle is and present it to y'all at the next meeting. Whether I remember or not, I can come down and share that with you. So that's one possible thing. But the signs definitely, this board would have to pay for them if you want anything different from what they've got. And they've got some really, I'll say, odd regulations about stuff like that. They're very specific on what you can or can't do. But we can talk to Heath, and you know, if he's all right with it.
Well, they said some of the people that come in there were visiting in a little shop somewhere.
Yeah.
They said you can't read the sign.
You need to see it about you get on top of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We go past it.
Yeah.
And then look for it, we can't find it. That's it.
Yeah. And then you have the age-old problem of vandalism.
Yeah.
The other is terrible.
I don't know how many they lose on an annual basis. He told me once, but it's just mind-boggling. Yeah, but that's one we can check on. You got enough? You write that down, Daniel?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anybody have any old business that we need to talk about today? Boy, this is going to be the quickest meeting we ever had, I think. I don't have anything else myself, Anybody? Merry Christmas.
Move for adjournment.
So,
Sir. All right.
second.
In favor, everybody? Meredith, Merry Christmas. Christian,